It's the 23rd of November. November, yes. I'll go back to one. I did two first. No rhyme, no reason. Right, and that one is, that is the 30th, journal one is 30th of September. That's right there. That is 30th of September. Today is the 14th.
That's really 5 lots of time.
That is just the first one. And the reason why I put deadlines on those, it's because I didn't want to have to do the 3 of them at the same time. Huh?
So we have to do reading before the first face to face.
Yeah, boy, these students are easier though. So start writing as you go through.
Dr. Henry,
Yes, sir.
we were just looking at the method of inputting your journal. There's no option for you to allow us to upload a file.
So you have to cut
You don't have to cut and paste in the journal. In the journal.
But when you cut and paste, it's going to...
Yes, it has those little things on it. So you go and clean it up.
No, but a journal entry doesn't allow you to upload like that.
Yeah, but suppose in my journal I want to put photographs.
You want what?
I want to put images and photos.
You could, there's a big clip on this.
You know, that's a painstaking amount of reading. You have to get stuff in.
Yeah. You have to do it direct.
Listen,
Hello,
I
you
am a
think
little,
about these things that
listen,
group
I am
picture
no
cards.
But I
Wait a minute, how are you going to do it?
Alright, and the last one is the 16th of December. Alright, so when you understand that when you use a journal tool, you have to follow what
You can do
people
it in
allow.
HTML if you want class.
Alright?
No.
You do it in HTML, there are classes going on in HTML right now.
Oh, please.
Miss Alexander's class online that teaches you how to do
Get everywhere, yes.
I can use word editor, for example, and save it as HTML and then formatting. But you might have something.
Raja, if you want. Oh, I'm talking about that. I saw the lovely sharing website or something that's an app. It was a sharing app done by one of your students.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
it's Stacy.
Who did that?
Is it Stacy? Is it Stacy?
Yes.
It's fabulous. We have to get that out there. I was very impressed with that.
I was very
I
impressed.
haven't had a chance to give
So,
her some feedback on that yet.
that is something that we could use. Probably we could use that because you all want to share. But look at it. I don't know who it was sent to, but I saw it and I was quite impressed. Yeah, it was really very
That's the
good.
one that Stacy sent you to show what the students had produced and ask whether they could paste on the website for sharing.
I don't know. I don't have any form yet. No. She doesn't have it. Alright, do you all want to just go get some?
Don't give her a more
In pursuit of your aim, you might have a question that you want to get answered by your friends.
Alright, the answer is yes.
Listen, if this
The answer is yes. Alright.
I am doing a course on the weekend too in the graphics thing for the other project. So
Would anybody like to open some coffee or some water? Yes. I let you go into the first course. See how easy it is? And how slow paced you are going? I hear everybody talking and it. Nobody wants coffee?
Yes.
Well, please go. I'm not bringing it. Sorry. Please go have your coffee.
knock this out. You don't mean
It's a simple question. I recognize I had to do some work and
Yes, it's in the cover.
whatever she's doing.
I'm supporting. Yes,
That's good. Oh, that's why my face is so familiar. How are you? And were you able to do anything?
No, I remember my very first class. I remember my very first class.
Yes, I can connect.
Dr. Samuel, are you going for some coffee?
I am.
Yeah,
I mean, I could understand. You all are doing other besides mine?
No,
I
no one to bring this one into one.
I'm trying to figure out a couple of ways in which I can approach and one of the ways is ready to set it up as a video, which has a different dynamic from a traffic course.
Yes.
And I'm already trying to see how people are responding to this film. If it's something that I can use
I mean, I don't know if people are
for
ready
that, or whether I will have to use a different type of book.
You're still using our course to get your ideas. Go ahead.
Well, I don't think I'm gathering intelligence. I'm gathering intelligence if I have to decide to submit my thing.
No, but that's good. I have a thing on training with the administrators, the deans and so on, that I use as you know, I'm a send you information for you. It's in a workshop thing and you see materials and so that I use for that.
But because I am a big believer in reflective practice, I am trying to do case studies
But that is what I use.
to
Well, my own,
as
I
a
have got from
different things-
scenarios.
the different things, these cases as organizing principles. Because the case allows me to deeply contextualize what the literature says by kind
Yeah,
of
what's in
capturing-
literature and case studies?
Well, I have read stuff.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, if asked.
Mine would be
I
simple.
can let me tell you what my library looks like.
Oh,
But
God,
I leave it
really?
behind me. If you like to shop, I like to buy books.
I like to buy everybody books. I like to buy
If you see my, I told somebody told me the other day, you just need to stop.
Oh.
I literally have, I think the book is about, the books on the bottom of the bed now are just tumbling off. So they're about 18 inches high.
No.
And that's what they're reading. That's my weakness.
Yeah. Yeah, but you are a reader.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a reader of novels. I'm not making any bones about it. I'm a reader of novels.
Reading. I love reading. So we went, Bernard and I were in the workshop yesterday in Connecticut. So while I took real notes of the thing, he was laughing at me.
Oh, Anna.
No, the lecturer, because I kept up writing and I'm taking down the note, I'm taking down the citation, and he talked about his upcoming book on job analysis. I said, I need to get that. Oh my Lord, it was a good session.
Very nice. I'm glad it was worth your while.
Yeah. It's a doctor that Cumberbatch, Christine, what was her name? Who did the introduction? Carrington?
Oh, Christine Carrington.
Yes.
Carrington.
Open lecture, so she's
Yeah.
managing it.
You don't know think your neighbor? Yeah.
Lawrence.
Lawrence daughter, yeah.
I can see the bleeding.
The resemblance.
That's the
Yeah.
resemblance.
So she took over from Terry because Terry used to do the Simonga used to do the open lecture thing. But they have money to do that open. I don't know where they get that money from. Not like we used to be scrubbing for money for our.
That guy's a serious guy, so I'm telling you, they paid real money.
Yeah.
And
They
he
have
had
money.
two sessions with the PhD. He had 2 sessions with the PhD students.
Oh yeah.
So he had 2 days before the lecture
Right,
with the PhD
right.
students, and then he thought
They use it.
so
They
he was
use
talking
it our
about-
model.
He
They
was
use it our
talking
model.
about so I was talking about community colleges because he's there with the workforce development. So he in the middle of the speech said, I'll be talking to Dr. Paul tomorrow. I said, he's here for a long time. How they got the money to have him there for such a long time?
And it has become since Sankar was there, it has become a major event in the
Parliament.
yes, so for the graduate studies, the graduates so they must do that. So they
It was well attended. They have the little car park over by Carmody Street there.
oh yeah, I know that. All right, do I have to get my bag to ready to go back in?
I'm ready, but it's only.
But we then go for the coffee.
Wow, let me tell you.
Go and get the coffee now.
We are not tight schedule.
I am here with the
We could
same
drink
people
it
who are
now.
popped up again. I shouldn't have laughed in the meeting this morning.
Yep. No.
They turned up now. They said this coming to start on Monday. Yeah, this is it. They're coming back, so they're asking about the classroom. Can we indicate
Oh, they the ministry
the
people.
number of students in the course, the number of
How do you like your coffee?
No,
I'll come
don't
in, I'll
do
come in,
that,
I'll come in,
don't do
I'll
that.
come in.
But you can't get it, don't do that. Can you indicate the number of, so they're very vague. So this is the information I will get from them. They told me 3 classes. Suddenly it pops up and they'll inform you that they'll be occupied one of the classrooms. So they're asking for 2 classrooms of 50, which is me with the partitioning, and one of 30, but you ain't giving me the details of the class. So is it the 30 class or the 50 class?
That's right.
Then we don't know if they're running it from Monday to Friday. They a little, yeah.
I don't know why they're doing that. Those people should be under COSTAATT. End of story.
Yes, but I told you they saw a little gleam in my eye. I felt like, all right, right, we're going to do the students because of that.
What's the book?
The next 10 century. Yeah, when we do teacher training. Huh?
Yes. This is age. Your body starts talking to you. I see something. I want to go so on the couch. What's that? I said, what is that?
Lost elasticity.
Yes. So all this
You know it,
crazy. I said, so I see that crazy.
You
I said,
Theoretically.
yes, but how could you look down on your couch and when you see a hunting, you see this crane. And then you do it so with your thing and I see the other thing hanging down here. It's like, oh gosh. Ain't Margaret King, she taught. Oh, but I wouldn't know it. You didn't know exactly Margaret King, yes, is that? Yes. Yeah, because Mark was doing a lot of the teacher training. Alright, so let us get down into some real stuff now. That was the preliminary stuff, was I can close this. This.
Did we agree that we were gonna do the transfer and articulation thing wrong?
Wrong robin, yes.
I may have to start my one like this.
Oh. Yes, so you see the guy, yes, from there how to start, yes. But there are some things that help, for instance, you probably ask your philosophy, your teaching philosophy,
Because I think that's always a good place to start, and why it is you want to work in a particular way, right? And examples. I also have examples, samples of people, of people who actually did things in a course that I taught. So I always like people to see that their own colleagues, local colleagues, could do the thing and how they look. So I have a sample. I think I have a sample in this book too. In fact, I think I have the sample from this book. You see, so like this is a sample of what this particular student did. So these are some pages from her teaching portfolio that I used in it. Here, she gave an autobiography and her teaching philosophy, right? And then I think she gave some her roles and responsibilities, right? And those things can help you, show who you become. I remember I did when I was doing that CEDA thing, I did this CEDA thing, and you had to identify 3 areas in which you haven't, and then you have to sort of reflect on that and do this big and provide evidence of your effectiveness and things.
While I'm exploring this whole thing about conceptual conditioning, what I've started to do is that when I get my classroom there, I ask them to write what they think is especially the
Right.
and then they will have their own ideas, and then you get some established definitions, and I don't say what you say as to what these established definitions are, and we start with this.
Right.
But I keep the ones.
The research material, because you can actually see how they do it. Yes. Do a nice research paper.
Yeah, I have a whole lot of it just as I did.
Yeah. Very good. we have to sort of carve out that, because I realize that,
As important as it was to see how you see everything and what differences who.
yes, with the program is, yes, that's how you know if your program is effective. Because if you get to change the conception from elemental kind of thing, right, to a more holistic and actual representative of the profession, then you know that. Yes.
So this is what I'm trying to get rid of, and then see if I can get some time and analyze it.
Right. Yeah.
It's quantitative.
Yeah, it's qualitative.
Not the drama.
You need to get a thing to, somebody could do the coding. But the coding is what takes a lot of time.
Even though we have all these,
Yeah, online one.
psychologists,
Yes. Okay.
yeah, people.
Yes, it is.
What's
Yes,
the
yes,
but you have to be within 6 days.
and I just don't know what to do with that whole bit. You know, that is bigger than your bladder. Your bladder is a little thing too.
Exactly, yes.
It's bigger than your bladder. Fit all of that inside your bladder. Your bladder is it's all that you get. A public outing.
You get no special treatment.
Oh, somebody wanted special treatment.
I want me A, that's what I want.
Yeah, as long as they work for it, you will get it.
All I need.
Yeah. No, she not buttering up. Yeah, she demanding. She demanding.
What's going on there?
She demanding an A. She has to work for it.
Okay. Hold on, let's try again.
He works with Lizzo.
Okay.
Professor Kester. I don't know what's his
Katie.
position.
Katie,
She was asking his position.
educational technology.
Nothing? Yes.
Okay.
Profile.
I think this ought to be.
All right, we're ready to go. Everybody had their cup of joe. You didn't have a cup of joe. You had Jill. That had to be a Jill. All right, so preparation for effective teaching. So we now start to get into some of the theoretical underpinnings for how you will establish and develop your training plan. They're both.
I wasn't sure because it was setting myself up for a buff. So that's why I kind of asking. So, but I was asking if we were choosing whether the sessions were 9 to 12 or 1 to 4. But you heard her response, they're both.
Yeah.
But not
Walk
on the
with
same day.
lunch. Yeah.
Yeah, same day.
Yeah, that's why they say only 7
You
days.
see, that's why I'm clarifying.
It's only 7 days. So I'm hoping you have any class on Friday this week, this
We have
semester.
curriculum meetings on Friday.
Oh, it's not every Friday, good.
What does that mean?
Huh?
What does that mean?
Well, they alternate. You have it next week, curriculum? Right, so we have our meeting
You 20
the
days.
28th.
And also the 28th, but so clearly, never mind.
Yeah.
Moving right along.
Moving right along. So all my meetings.
No, it's only 7. It's only
Okay,
7.
right.
7 out of a
I
whole
am putting-
16.
I am setting out my meeting schedule now, so let's
Yeah.
drop the other Friday.
But my schedule is already up.
We saw. We saw. Did we see this when we reviewed this in Seattle?
Yes, it was there.
I don't believe that we saw the dates, you know.
Yes, I wondered why they put things on the 14th when they know that. Anyway, we will not go there. Okay, this is the preparation for effective training, for effective teaching. So if you're going to be teaching a class or if you're going to be training and you're having workshop sessions and so on, this will be equally valuable. Alright, here we are going to expose you to some fundamental concepts about teaching adult learners that should be considered in developing and implementing training plans. Well, I have it there very narrowly. We're going to be looking at fundamental concepts about teaching generally, not only adult learners, but I would want you to make a distinction between what adult learners bring to the table as opposed to what younger people bring to the table. Although we are in an environment where technically we're supposed to be teaching adults, we know that they're not quite there yet. All right, there are 4 outcomes here. So at the end of this course, I expect that you will be able to define the principles of training and explore relevant theoretical frameworks, starting off with the frameworks. You will distinguish among learning styles and learning theories, determine adult learning principles that will be relevant to training in the teaching learning context, and identify principles of good teaching and training. So this is what we'll cover over the whole course, so it's not like we're doing everything today. Although my PowerPoint is 43 slides, we're not doing 43 slides today. No, that's for the whole course. That's for the whole course. I haven't loaded it up yet because we were trying to change some things before I think, but I'll load it up after the session. Yeah, there's a dance for you. Yeah, so that is the whole thing. I just have one PowerPoint, but we will only be going we'll be looking at we probably go up to learning styles and theories today. Just so I could set the context for what you have to be doing online. All right, the courses here, the topics. We have 6 major topics. Learning theories, how people learn, learning styles and learning style inventories, teaching style inventories, learner characteristics, adult learning principles, training principles, and so on. So these are the 6 that we're going to be looking at. I think today we will be looking at these 2 here, but what I would like you to do, I would like you to do both your teaching style inventory and the learning style inventory. Your own personal one, all right? The reason why I like people to do the learning style inventory is because the research shows that, and the learning style here we're using will be VAC. And one of the reasons why we use VAC is visual, auditory, read, write, and kinesthetic. The reason why I like to use that is because they have a whole bunch of research. It's well researched. It's a well researched learning style. And in addition to identifying the styles, they actually have learning strategies that can be employed. We will look at them. That can be employed congruent with the particular style or styles. What I have found with this, I've used this over and over, and if you do it online actually, they will tell you to send them the information because they will want to add it to their database. But one of the things that they have shown very clearly is that students have very different learning styles from their teachers. So you will see, I think the graph is there. So the teachers tend to be auditory, read, write. So most teachers are in that middle there. And the students are visual, kinesthetic. So you know how you and how you learn is it tends to be how you teach. So you know that you can take your notes and everything, you understand that, you hear what he says, and you write, and yes. Yeah. I remember going to a workshop, and before I actually started the workshop, it was with these lecturers, this guy started to write. So, what are you writing? I only said good morning. He said I was writing the date. I said, you're a read-write, because from the time I opened my mouth, he started to write. He found something to write, he did. Right? But their research is so compelling because they have done this over thousands of students from Australia, England, all over the world. So I think it's really valuable research, and it shows why we have to pay attention to how we teach. And you notice that too, because sometimes in a class you have 30 students and nobody understands what you're doing except 2 people in the class. 2 people. You always have these 2 people who always understand, and they wonder why the others not getting it. Yeah, because the only 2 people who have a learning style like yours are these 2 people. Everybody else, they have variations on the theme. Alright? So it's always good to think about who your learner is in terms of what comes naturally, how they prefer to learn.
How do you bridge that gap?
Alright, how do you think you bridge that gap?
I don't know, because I'm not visual at all. So like one of the things I know is my downfall in teaching is I don't really use many visuals. But it just doesn't come naturally to me.
True.
So I don't really know how.
If you basically to see what their learning style is, so you will do the VAR. Everybody will do the VAR. But how do you think you counter that?
Anybody.
You know that's right. But
If
you
you're not
visualize your
comfortable.
transition.
I mean,
Yeah,
if you're not
you
comfortable,
can-
then you fall to one side.
Yes, if you already fall
Yeah,
to
but
one side, what do you do? And everybody else, let's say you have 2 people in your class who are like you. Everybody else is different.
How do you bridge it gap?
How do you
But
close
you
that
have to
gap?
develop the capacity. So you're starting from the learner inventory. And once you understand the learning styles of the students, you are organizing your lesson plan to be able to communicate with all of them, and that is what
you
forces you
different
into.
style. That is,
Yeah.
different
Because
strategies.
you have to start
Yes.
from where they are,
They-
to
true.
understanding where
In
they
fact,
are.
in the VARC questionnaire, when you do it, it actually provides you, once you get your results, with strategies as a student.
Student, yeah, that I learned
And
it.
if you
So
look at
you
the
could
strategies,
use
yeah.
those strategies for them.
Okay.
Right, so we will look at that in a little while. So it's important to understand that. And it's important that you understand that you have a particular style, right? And that style is probably not congruent with the style of most of the students you will teach. So yes, that's why they don't understand what you say, right? So how you will get them to understand, you might have to have them do more collaborative learning and interpretation using more of the tables and charts.
But I think that, Nika just made a valid point, but that's also why I think I gravitate towards the high level courses. Like I absolutely dislike 100 level courses. I don't teach any. Because I think that's when we expect it. Like for example, in psychology, that's where you do the foundations of psych. And you have to do the brain and the eye and the ear and all these chart like things,
Yeah.
and I just shut down completely. So I don't even teach those courses because of how strong I know my learning and teaching style is. So that's why I do more of the 300 and 400 where I kind of, it's more
Where you're
discussion.
already weeded out a lot of the
Yes,
people who don't
yeah.
really like you.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think is it the drawing and putting together the thing that is problematic?
And
And
well,
how
that,
how-
and I think because it's so, you're teaching fundamental skills
Right.
that I am just not too, like I prefer the more analytical kind of, you have the foundation already, let's talk about the application stuff.
Okay.
So the courses I teach are the more applied, in my opinion, the applied courses as opposed to the foundations of learning what is a theory.
Well,
That's
at least one of the good things, at least you recognize that and you operate to suit.
Correct.
A lot of people, especially people who teach maths, they tend to operate at the high level, right? So they really don't understand how these students who come in can't understand some simple fundamental foundation because they're not doing that. They're not getting down there. But they're teaching 100 courses. So guess what happens? Most of the students fail. And I remember speaking to a lecturer at 11, and he was so unsympathetic, unempathetic. He couldn't, as far as he was concerned, if they don't understand it, too bad. But he was really operating, he was an island scholar, and so the kind of level at which he's operating.
Sharon, I want to ask
And
you.
it's really nothing.
What happens if you, in your upper level course, find you don't have the foundational skills?
Well, you do.
What do you do?
I do find that sometimes, but it's not like I can't do it, but it's really not my comfort zone. So this semester I actually forced myself into lifespan development, which is not 100, but it's 200, and it's kind of foundational.
I am glad you are in this course
I'm
because in this course you are going to learn how to reach those other people.
Yeah, which I will admit I have a problem. I have a problem reaching.
And that is the first step in solving.
Yeah.
For me, is when I first learned about the VARC, I actually told my students to go online and investigate your own learning style. Explain to them that people learn differently. So if you're not understanding it, how I'm teaching it, see what learning style you do have, and it will give you suggestions as to how you can use, so the students do it.
What was interesting though, unlike Leonie, when I first learned about these things, I didn't direct my students. I thought it was my responsibility. And so I built up a repertoire of different learning, of different teaching styles. Like different activities, I should say, based on the different learning styles.
That's
So
what
that I
they
was
can't do.
able to pull out something regardless of who was in front of
Okay.
me. So now I make it, I try to get the students more responsible, but at first I thought
It
I
was your
was
responsibility.
responsible. Yes.
You didn't hear the spiel about
No.
getting the students self-reliant and
I missed that
self-driven.
part.
Oh, you did that now. All right, now you know. So yes, let them do it.
I
And
miss class because Karen, I understand your point because that's what I do as well. They have a range of activities,
Yeah.
but the students who miss class would have missed your nice range of different
Yes.
kinds or whatever. So if you have directed them where they can go, then you know.
And I have found out that students, and well, these are UE students, so they have the more self-driven and so on. But when they, I remember one year we did this with some engineering students because the lecturer was particularly interested. He was leaving. This was his like last batch, so he thought he would, sort of shepherd them through the processing, and he had them do some workshops with us. And I remember doing this thing with a VAC and thing. And it was very interesting what their response was. They said, this is the first time I know I had a learning style. I didn't know I had a way of learning. So they understood themselves a lot better. And they're bright. So they could take that now. And for the next 3 years, they just worked that. They did brilliantly, actually. So the valedictorian came from that class. The 3 years later came from that class. They all did very well. So his shepherding was good, but what he did to support it and help them take responsibility was that first exposure to them understanding who they were as learners. Because a lot of our students don't have any concept because they don't think about that. They have no concept of who they are as learners. As the guy said, Peter is a sixth form graduate. He didn't know he had a learning style. And of course, when I was that age, I didn't know I had a learning style. So it was,